America, this is Grandma Sunshine, and today I would like to talk about the World News Report with Grandma Sunshine. Our topic today is the Israel grab land that the whole entire world in 2014, in the first week of September, is so up and tight about. Sugar, Israel has more right to every single part of Palestine than the Palestinians, sugar. Doesn't anyone read the Bible? I hate to tell you, but where the mosque is standing in Jerusalem, sugar, you would probably say that that belongs to the Arabs, when it is one of the most famous biblical lands that belong to the Jews for millennium. It is Mount Moriah, sugar. And if you are going to tell me all over the world that the Arabs deserve to keep that forever, then you are mistaken, sugar. And you know it. The Arab Muslims know it. The Christians know it. And every single Jew knows it. That Mount Moriah belongs to the Jews. And it's a holy place that they are not allowed to step on. And yet the Arabs, they just made a mosque there, sugar. And you probably say, oh, the Arabs have been there, and therefore that is going to be their land. Well, sugar, the Arabs are not the Israelites that went into Jericho with Joshua, sugar, and Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's grave in Hebron belongs to the Jewish people, not the Arabs. Well, that is not even their forefathers. They're not the children of Isaac and Jacob. And how about the tomb in Bethlehem of Rachel? Do you think that that belongs to the Arab, sugar? I think the world needs a little reality check, sugar, and the UN, Mickey Noon or Ki Moon, should just try to understand that when they condemn Israel for taking land that belongs to themselves, they have a new thing coming, sugar, because they know that every single Arab knows, and every single Palestinian who's alive knows that Mount Moriah is not going to be theirs forever, and that Jerusalem belongs to the tribe of Judah, and that the Israelites are from descendants from Judah. Well, sugar, I am probably more have claim to Israel than the Palestinian, sugar. Well, what if I told you that I am from a descendant of King David? And what if I told you that the whole entire Jerusalem belongs to the Jews? And just because the Arabs happen to be there, that doesn't mean it's theirs, sugar. Have you known history? That the Jews were in Mecca way before all those Arabs were? And they were kicked out of Mecca because it didn't belong to them? Can you imagine the world? Oh, I can just imagine the UN and every single person on the face of the earth who has so much hate in them souls. They would just say, Mecca belongs to the Jews. Why were they kicked out of there? I would like the world to say that the Jews should have a little part of Mecca, because that is where the Quran says that every single Arab should go to, not Jerusalem. Jerusalem belongs to the Jews, tribe of Judah and Benjamin, sugar, and every Muslim knows that. And that land that they are so pitiful that they are being taken away from them has never been their land. Just because they're nomads and they lived in Palestine for years doesn't make it their property. The Jews have lived there thousands and thousands of years before them. And every nation who came and lived in Israel knew that someday this land is going to belong to Israel. And that is what it is supposed to do, sugar. That is what God wants. The Israelites have the Torah. They don't behead people. They don't throw missiles on people. Their mothers are not happy that they are killing people. Jews are different. They have the Torah. I could teach you the Torah. Well, our Christians, I'm a Southern Baptist from Mississippi, sugar, and our Testament, Old Testament, is the Torah, and takes thou love thyself, neighbor as thyself, and all the beautiful things. There hasn't been a Jew in history that follows the Torah, that has ever been commanded to kill someone like the Hamas takes their own people and kill them. Heaven, God in heaven, please make this world understand that they have so much hate in their minds that they think that how in the world can they actually think that Palestine belongs to the Palestinians when Israelites in Israel are from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and everybody is accepting the Bible, and everybody is accepting the history of mankind, and everybody knows that every single part of Israel belongs to Israel, including the West Bank. And for the Israel to give Gaza to the Palestinians to make their sovereign part, that they could have freedom, was a wonderful thing. But I don't understand. Abbas was forced out of Gaza, forced out from his own people. And he actually thinks, and he's fooling the world to think, that he's going to make peace with Hamas and there's going to be peace with Israel, when they want to destroy Israel, when Israel belongs to Israel and not the Palestinians. Sure, they want an airport and they want a seaport, so they can all destroy Israel. Sugar, I have news for you. If Israel will be destroyed, the whole world will be destroyed, Sugar. Because Israel is the people of God, they have the Torah, and they are the light to shine on us and teach us all the beauty of the Torah and the beauty of caring for other people and doing acts of kindness. I never hear the Palestinians preaching that, and I never hear Hamas preaching doing acts of kindness. They line up their own people and kill them on their knees. Do you think they have mercy and compassion like the Jews go to the temple and pray to God that this is how they should be and they should have mercy and compassion? And people around the world know the truth, Sugar, that there's so much klipa and so much hatred that they just want to just condemn Israel and call Israel all kinds of names. When Israel never beheads people, Israel never cuts people in pieces, and Israel never harms people. But Hamas directed their missiles to hurt people. They want to make suicide bombings. They want to show the world they're going to torture Israel. They're going to kill people, just like Al-Qaeda and ISIS and all those beautiful people that we are so blessed to have a world full of hate. Sugar, we have to support Israel, and that is Israel's territory, and they could take if they want, because they're going to better that place. And the Palestinians have to learn how to live in peace. And instead of trying to just destroy, they should start building and building and building and ask the world to help them build with Israel and demand that they have universities and schools instead of all that Hamas is going to just steal all their money. I heard Arafat become one of the most billionaires in the world from going around the world collecting for the poor people, the Palestinians. They pocketed all that money, millions and millions of dollars. And this is what Hamas wants the world to think, Sugar. So I am just telling the world, Sugar, that Israel, and everybody knows it, every Muslim and every Palestinian knows, Hebron, the entire city, belongs to Israel. Jerusalem, the entire city, belongs to Israel. And the whole West Bank belongs to Israel. And they have to learn how to make peace. And you could just take yourself a Bible and go to history and find out who deserves Israel. The Palestinians don't come from, I don't even know who they come from, but they certainly don't come from Israel. Whereas God gave Israel to the Jewish people, and everybody knows that on the world. And I just hope there's going to be peace on this world, Sugar, but there's so much hatred. I just look at so many comments, and the UN now is like becoming the central of hatred around the world. And I just hope this world is going to change, because Israel is where we are going to learn the Torah and where we're going to learn how to change, Sugar. And I don't want to hear so much hatred. I want to see some love in this world. And I am telling you, Sugar, Grandma Sunshine believes in love, believes in justice, and believes in peace. And the way the world is going, by showing hatred and telling people that the land doesn't belong to Israel, and how dare they grab their own land, we don't do that to anybody else. I wish we could give back the Indians, all America, Does that sound right? No, they're living in peace in America, and they're very happy. And the Palestinians could be happy too. Sugar, I'm just saying, we can't give back land that does not belong to the Palestinians. So please, Sugar, let's just all say the honorable call and hope that the peace is going to shine on people's hearts and open them to love instead of hate. Ana b'koach gedulat yimincha tatir tzura. Kabel binat amcha sagvenu taharenu nora. Na yibor dorshe yikudcha kivavad shamrem. Baruchem taharem rachamem tzidkatcha tamid gamlem. Chasin kadosh berov tuvcha. Nahel adatecha. Yachid ge'ei le'amcha pnei zochrei kidushatecha. Shavatenu kabel ushema tza'akatenu yodea talumot. Baruch Shem kivod malchuto leolam va'ed. And I'm just saying all this because this is what the Bible states, and this is what the Quran says, and this is what every single Christian knows, that Israel belongs to Israel. And Bethlehem was where the son of Yishai came from, and that is where it is supposed to be, in the hands of the Jews. Thank you so much for listening to Grandma's Sunshine.